Hi, and welcome to Prepping Essentials. Good morning, it's 5:30 on Saturday the 27th of May. Just making my way down to the land, and as always, not quite sure what we're going to get done today, but let's find out. Well, here we are down on the land. Grass is looking a lot better since I got the little red tractor out last weekend. Sun is peeking over the trees, even though it is very early. Wanted to get a bit of an early start this morning. Don't know if you'll see on the camera, but the grass is covered in dew, so won't be getting an early start on that. But I did want to get some water onto the planting before this sun gets too hot. It has been hot pretty much every day this week, to be fair. I have taken the chance to pop in as and when I could in between work, just to sort the chickens out during the week, but also to keep an eye on these trees around by the beehives, just in case we had any more swarming. We haven't during the week. I'm desperately looking now to see if I can see any signs, which at the moment I can't. So fingers crossed they might have decided to settle down, or of course I might open up one of these hives and find there's nothing in it. Bit early for activity yet. Bit too cool and dark for them, but at some point today we'll have a little look inside and just see what's going on. I might even be tempted, particularly in these two, to look in the bottom, the brood box, and see if I can't swap out any frames in there. Could also do with a bigger pallet. Somebody mentioned it on this latest hive. Just a bit more space. There's always things to do. Anyway, let me get myself opened up, get the kettle on. This grass is looking a lot better. I've not done this central section. I'll try and kill that today. But the rest is, got rid of all those huge thistles, and of course got rid of some of these. An example down there, and there's a few more over here. Those anthills, some of them are getting quite big, and little red tractor did struggle a little bit. Anyway, I digress, as I often do. Let me get inside, get opened up, and I'll catch up with you as we go through today. Potatoes coming on really well. Very pleased with these. Just got to keep on top of the watering. Even the Swedes are coming on now. Nice to see. Well, good morning and welcome to another weekend. Another stupidly busy week this week with work. I don't know how many miles I've travelled this week, but we're talking about thousands, plural. But I suppose the good news, something floating in my coffee there. That'll teach me to leave it while I go outside. The good news is I've got a long weekend this weekend. Monday is a bank holiday, a public holiday in the UK. So looking forward to at least an extra day this week. Loads of stuff I do want to get done down at the cabin on the land this weekend. Just looking out the garden room window there. It's still early, But the sun is already up in the sky and it's going to be another scorching hot day by the looks of it. So I've just taken the opportunity to run round. Shut up! Run round with the water and try and keep on top of watering the plants. I did get caught out a week or so ago with the carrots. They're coming back slowly, but yeah, they did get a bit scorched. You'll see in a minute when I give you a run round. So yeah, just trying to keep on top of the watering. If this heat continues for many more weeks, I'll be praying for rain just to top up the water barrels, because it's all going out at the moment rather than going in. Don't know if we're going to get a bit of deja vu from last year. We did have a really long, unusually hot spell, several months through the summer and into early autumn. I'm hoping we don't get a repeat of that this year. I'd like to get a bit better harvest. He's not giving up. I've obviously been out and sorted the chickens out. I've got my little egg bounty there. I've also got another solenoid for the little red tractor. You might remember last weekend I was having an electrical issue. I did have another look at it on Sunday, stripped it down, got the multimeter out, and I'm suspecting it's an intermittent fault on the solenoid, because at one point it was testing okay and then the other few minutes later it didn't seem to. But it did actually start up and I got some grass cut. I'll pop some still clips in the video at some point, probably now. Yeah, so it was nice to get the grass down. I was getting a bit worried about the length of it and the thistles. It was a bit of a chore, because the thistles, when you run over them, it immediately clogs up the chute to the collection box, and the grass builds up, and then you have to go digging in. So hence the stop-start of the tractor. Whether that led to the electrical problem or not, I don't know. But anyway, I've got a spare solenoid. So if that continues through this weekend, I'll just swap this out. So how are things with everyone out there in YouTube land? Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you are staying safe and well and enjoying your weekend. The chaos continues, and I'm kind of resisting the temptation right now, because there is so much stuff, but it's the same old stuff that we've been experiencing probably for about a year now. So the war in Ukraine continues. The West keeps throwing in more and more weapons, ever more sophisticated and ever more aggressive rather than defensive in style. The antagonisation of China continues. China did try to broker a peace deal between Russia and Ukraine. And as soon as they voiced it, every country in the West, almost to a man, immediately came out and said, no, we're not having any talk about peace. They are making far too much money off the back of this in terms of arms sales and loans for reconstruction. So Western politicians, despite the protestations about it's all peace and democracy and saving lives, actually it's not. It's all about perpetuating the military-industrial complex, and of course giving them an opportunity to virtue signal to the world about how they're morally superior to everybody else. And I'll stop there before I go off on a political tangent, and then I'll have people complaining. Everything else, the real things that we should be concerned about, continue at pace. Inflation still at record levels. Interest rates still at record levels. Quite interesting, there was an announcement this week about one of the major financial institutions pulling out of the UK bond and gilt market, which is the instrument government uses to print fake money. It just add to its debt pile. Clearly this institution, which is one of the biggest in the world, looked at it and thought, you know what, this Ponzi scheme is going to collapse before much longer. Let's just get out now while we can. So economy and financial markets not looking good. Energy prices, food prices still record levels and causing real pain and angst for average people like me and you. And this pattern is repeated pretty much around the Western world, so throughout Europe into the North American continent. And it's not going away. Politicians are desperately trying to come up with massaged figures to tell everybody that inflation is going down. We had a 0.01% drop. Woo! In inflation over last month, but we're still around that 10% mark. So when you top this up, I did the video a few weeks, maybe months ago now about this. It's not just this monthly figure. You've got to look at the cumulative effect over the last 2 or more years. The difference in price between 2020 and 2023 is staggering, absolutely staggering. It's no wonder people are struggling. I do notice though that lots of people are trying to put on a brave face and they're still trying to spend as they did before, but of course it's going on the credit card, and as interest rates rise, sooner or later that chicken's going to come home to roost, probably just in time for Christmas. So watch this space. So yeah, lots of stuff to talk about in the big bad world, but I'm trying to resist the temptation of focusing on that doom and gloom stuff and just talking about things that I'm doing to try and get by. I do keep topping up my long-term stored food. I dread to think how much rice, beans, pasta and canned meat I have now. But I just continue doing it. The prices are shockingly high. What used to be £1 tin of Spam or luncheon meat, and in fact when I first started it was like 75-80 pence a can. When it got to £1 I thought I was being robbed, but now 140, 150 and upwards depending on which shop you use for the same can of Spam or luncheon meat. So I do begrudge paying those prices, but I just do want to keep topping up. One thing I am on the hunt for this weekend is seeds. You'll know from the planting in the polytunnel this year, I have struggled to get seeds to germinate. Now it could be down to the cold weather that we had for a long time. We were still getting frosts back end of April and indeed into the first week in May. Even though I had the paraffin heater on, everything was struggling. The potatoes went well and survived well, but all of the other seed planting was really agonisingly slow and painful. It's only really now, you might remember last weekend, the cucumber seedlings. How many times have I replanted cucumber this year? So I'm not sure if it was down to the weather or whether it was just that the seeds I've got were getting a bit old. Not really sure. So I'm on a mission this weekend to have a dig around and see if I can't top up with fresh seeds. If there's one cheap prep that you should all get, it is seeds. Because if anything, God forbid, does go horribly wrong, we do end up with that proper something hit the fan, war in Ukraine escalates or whatever. Harken back to World War II days, particularly viewers here in the UK, including those of a certain age, they will remember that as we came out of World War II, people did have their own gardens and were trying to grow their own food to supplement the shortages that went on for quite some time after World War II. It was really common. My family had an allotment garden when I was growing up and going through school. right up until the sort of late 70s, early 80s, when it kind of started to die off and people got used to the just-in-time global food supply chain and cheaper prices. Those days are coming back, I promise you. As we go through this current crisis, no matter which way it pans out, really, the more you can be self-sufficient or just grow something to supplement your income, or to save you buying from the shops and use that money elsewhere, the better off you'll be. Anyway, I'm going to get myself sorted out, get this coffee finished off. Little red tractor's coming out, finish off that bit of grass cutting. Strimmer probably coming out as well to go around the raised beds. Now that we've had this bit of sunshine, the weeds are just going crazy. And whilst I did tinker with it a little bit last weekend, it wants properly sorting out. And there's a few other areas, particularly around trees, that needs trimming out as well. So there'll be a fair bit of grass cutting today. I will pop some clips up. Don't want to bore you with endless clips of me going up and down on the mower. I'll show you what I've done. Hopefully it's in the clip already last weekend, so you'll get an idea of how it was. And we'll take it from there. Hopefully we'll get another video out this weekend. We'll see how it goes. But in between tidying up here, seed shopping and other shopping, and actually taking the chance for once to just kick back for a few hours and watch a movie or do something different. I'm not sure exactly how much we'll get on the video, but whatever I do get up to, I will keep you posted. Do let me know what you're up to in the comment section. I know lots of you are planting. I did have a person reach out. It's an American YouTube channel. If you look in last week's video in the comment section, someone was reaching out asking about a collaborative video. I've not yet got round to responding to that, purely because I've been so busy with work, but I will at some point drop a line to them over the weekend and just see what it is that they're interested in talking about, and see if somehow between the time difference we can get the chance to meet up and say hi. So if you're watching, I haven't forgotten about you, and at some point I will be reaching out. So do let us know what you're up to in the comment section. Are you planting? How was your planting season start? Did you have problems like me with seed germination? Whatever it is, just comment. I like to see what you're up to, and I'm pretty sure everybody else that views the channel would like to see what you're up to as well. So stay safe and well. I'll catch up with you with the various clips I've put up today, and let's get cracking. Well, I promised you a run round. Just been out with the watering can. There is something in the garden room this week that's different and annoying, actually. But in terms of planting, blueberries still coming on apace. We've got lots of berries coming through there. I'm ever hopeful that we might eventually see some figs on this fig tree, but I'm not holding my breath. Those cucumbers have come on really well. I'm going to get those transplanted into the polytunnel. Strawberries coming on well. Got some quite sizable berries coming now on pretty much all of these plants, actually. So looking forward to picking the first ones of those. The disappointment is this lettuce. You can probably see something has been chewing at these. I don't know whether I've got a mouse in here or not sure what it is. I'm guessing rodent of some description. It's not rabbits for sure, and it's not pigeons for sure. But yeah, they've had a real go at this bed. So I'm going to have a little look around today. I'm pretty convinced that these outer walls are rodent proof. I do wonder though, around by the diesel heater, because I have got air intake and exhaust venting going out through that wall behind there. So I'm going to strip some of this back today and see if I can see where the little buggers have been getting in, because they're coming on quite well. They were coming on quite well, and it's more than annoying, shall we say, that something's been chewing on these, because they are, after all, my chickens. Look at that sun already at this time of the morning. I can't see the time on the camera, but it's early still. I made an effort this morning to get really early. So yeah, can you hear that noise? I've been round, out of water. I've took the netting off this whiskey barrel because the potatoes were just getting too high. I'll do the same with this one. I transplanted that netting across to the sweet corn barrel, just to try and give them a fighting chance against the pigeons. Those potatoes now looking really well down the side of the polytunnel. Really pleased with those. There's more to come. There are some still in the polytunnel, and I've got some chitted potato sets ready to go in. Garlic coming on quite well. Got some quite sizable stems coming now, despite the best efforts of the rabbits earlier on. You can see what I mean about trimming required. It's getting a bit raggedy. Onions coming on well. Really pleased with those. Swedes coming on well. They were disappointing last year. And despite having had the bed dug out, they've continued, which is great. Strawberries. Look at all of these. We're going to have loads this year, if I can manage to fend off the pigeons. That's that netting on the sweet corn, so nice to see I've got some of those coming through. Cherries on the cherry tree, still hanging in there. And quite a few of them as well this year. This did do this last year for the first time, but long-term viewers will remember that the pigeons came in, and that's why there's a branch missing there. They just trashed the tree completely. The beetroot that went in here is actually starting to make an appearance. This bed got dug out to death, so I'm stunned that they've actually come through. These are off this tree above it. So yeah, they are coming through. A strawberry bed here, the one that keeps getting attacked by the rabbits, still hanging in there, putting on quite a nice bit of growth on there. Obviously it's not as advanced as that other one that got left alone. And in the polytunnel, the carrots, you can see what I mean about the carrots. They did get scorched, but they are hanging in there. The peas actually not doing too bad now. We've actually got signs of a flower bud there, and we've actually got flowers on this one. Tomatoes. My sister, if you're watching, Vera, hi, got me really jealous yesterday. She sent me some pictures. She'd set off some tomatoes indoors and then bought a little outdoor, not a greenhouse, it's like almost like a cabinet, greenhouse cabinet to go in a garden, and her tomato plants were in better shape than mine, so I was really jealous. This one, for some reason, has suddenly put on a big spurt. The other two are still struggling. Yeah, we're not going to have a tomato forest this year for sure. But we might have a cucumber forest, who knows. I've got a couple of containers there with potatoes in. In fact, look at that. We've already got them peeking through. That's surprised me, because they only went in last week. Getting all giddy now looking for... Oh, there is, look. Look at that. So, yeah. I'll give those a bit of a water. They've not been watered yet. I was waiting for signs of life, and now I've seen it. And then I've got compost to get some more containers of potatoes planted out. should hopefully have a bumper crop this year, if we can keep on top of the watering, of course. One thing I did notice when I was down checking on the hives and the chickens during the week, I can't remember which tree it was now, one of these fruit trees was fruiting. Which one was it? I can't remember. Oh, it's this one, I think. Yeah, there we go, look. Apple tree with the first apples. So that's quite exciting. Very first one. And this is the tree that, you might remember, the rabbits were digging, and I had to put some stone blocks in to stop them. So that's a bit of a double bonus actually. And look at this. Didn't notice this during the week. This one's also got... these trees really have had it bad with pest damage. So I am pretty stunned that I've got anything on them at all. I'm surprised they've managed to hang in there and survive, because the two over here didn't. They're completely dead, and at some point I'll drag those out. I don't think I'll replant this one because it's a bit close to the hives now, but I might replant this one. Don't know. Or maybe I'll move it somewhere else over the field. But yeah, these are, I gave them the benefit of the doubt last year, hoping that they might miraculously recover, but they're just completely trashed. So yeah, at some point these will come out. And I am going to get into these hives today. I can just see the first signs of life on this one. And they're just starting to make an appearance. Morning, bees. Looking distinctly quiet on the others. Oh, there is signs of life. This little bee just flew out of there. There we go. Must be that time of the morning now. They're all starting to wake up. That one's got no signs at all, but this one's quite busy. This one buzzing round my head now. I'm tempting fate. Sticking my face in here without any protection on. Aren't those birds lovely, the little songs? You can see the sun is out on the field. I'm pleased I got the majority of this grass cut. There's only this centre bit left to do up here. I'll just probably give it another hour or so to let the sun do its work. This is still quite wet. Don't know if you'll see that on there or not. That's still really wet actually. Despite being in full sun. So we'll leave it for a while yet. Plenty of other stuff to keep me busy. I might go on that rodent hunt in the garden room. Well, it's definitely a machinery day today. Just been refueling the strimmer. I've been out for ages and this sun is absolutely scorching. I really could do with stopping for a while for a drink. I've even had the small lawnmower out as well. So we've been round, I took all of the covers off the raised beds, I went round with the strimmer first and then with the mower. It's all looking a million times better now. Far tidier. Even down the back here, where it's not easy to get into. So yeah, all looking good. Lots of weeding to be done, so while these covers are off, I mean, look at the size of these thistles in this onion bed. So while the covers are off, I'll have a run round with the hand trowel. Potatoes are looking fine, really fine. I've still got stuff to do in the polytunnel. I've not touched those potatoes that I wanted to bank up, let alone put in the ones that I've got chitted. I have still got this centre section to do down the middle. While I had the mower and the strimmer out, I took the opportunity to run round this northern section here, just around the trees where it's really difficult to get in. And I have to say, it's looking pretty good. Pretty good. Hopefully it won't grow as quickly now, with not having any rain for a week and these ridiculous temperatures of this sun. Hopefully it will slow it down a bit. I will try and get this middle section done today, but I'm not promising, because the day is absolutely flying by like it always does. Anyway, let me get tidied up, get the machinery away for sure. Once I've finished, I just need to refuel this mower. Weeding in the beds, sort the potatoes out. I might run round with some more water, we'll see how we get on. But I think before I do that, I'll just grab a quick drink, because I am really thirsty. I swapped the solenoid over, so it would be a shame to waste the opportunity to get some more grass cut, get that last centre section put in, so here we go. This is the dangers of cutting the grass around that middle section where all of the rose bushes are. Clearly I got snagged. Well, the grass is looking really good now. Worth the cut to the head from the it was actually one of the big rose bushes up the top end there. So I always like to see it when it's under control. It looks fresh, cared for, like it's actually got a purpose, rather than just a jungle of long grass and thistles. The birds enjoy it as well. As I've been going around cutting, they've been rushing in after me to get the ants and the worms. So there we go. Looking real nice. I need to cool down a little bit, and then I'll get my beekeeper suit on. We'll go and take a little look. It is a nightmare getting around these little bushes. Well, big bushes. Some of them are big enough to be trees. These are the culprits here, these big rose bush that are tangled in amongst the hawthorns. I mean, the hawthorns are bad enough, but I think my hat is still in the tree. I think it's in amongst here somewhere. That's looking nice, really nice. Yeah, there you go. Schoolboy error, came through here in the tractor, and there's the spiny bushes. And I'll tell you what, that hurt. Needless to say, they will be getting hacked back at some point. The trials and tribulations. It's amazing how many weeds come out of these beds, but they're all weeded. So I'm just going to take the chance now, just pop a little bit of water on while I've got the chance, and then we'll keep saying we're going to do the bees. I keep getting distracted, but we are going to do the bees. Warm in there. Well, I'll tell you what, it's hot in this bee suit. It's bad enough outside, but being inside the suit, my God. I've only had it on a couple of minutes and I'm already sweating to bits. Anyway, we're going to get ourselves into the hive. A couple of things I want to do. On the newest hive, I've got another bigger size pallet to drop that hive onto, so I'll shuffle that onto there when I take a look at that one. But I want to take a look at this end one, which was packed out in the bottom, just on the off chance there's some frames of honey in the bottom. Gives me a chance to look inside and see what's going on, but if there are frames of honey, I'll swap them out for fresh frames. I've got a couple in this nuke box ready just in case. So I'll put the camera on the tripod and we'll have a look. Right, just getting my gloves on, trying to cover myself up as best I can. Okay, let's take a look. I think we'll just take that super box straight off. Oh, we won't, it's stuck. It's stuck, and I only put it on last week. They're busy working in the top box. This is all honey. Loads of it. Look at this. Beautiful. We've just about got 10 full frames in here of just honey. It's well stuck to this bottom box. Oh, that's enormously heavy. Really heavy. They're sticking, they're building on the frame tops, and it's making them stick to the bottom of the frames in the box above. Yeah, this is well stuck as well. Okay, there we go. Well, they're not happy with this. Come on, this is absolutely solid as well. Oh, dear. them they're not liking this. You see, same again, look. They're building honeycomb, and that's not what we want. Get out of it. Try and clean the frames off. Stop them sticking. Get off. Get out of it. That's better. Right, let's take a little look. Okay. That's a bit bizarre, that's all honey in there. They're just capping it off, but I'm not sure what that is. It's empty, so it's not going to hurt if I remove it. There's nothing, there's no babies or anything in there. But yeah, that's honey in that frame. It doesn't look like there's anything with just full frames of honey. Which is what I'm really wanting. Oh, they're so tight. So tight. And these end two are joined together. You have to trim these bushes. Yeah, they're just busy on that last frame, filling that with honey as well. So that end frame will be honey eventually, which is good. So that's what we want. But there's nothing really in here that I can take. tight in here. Well, they're certainly busy working away, so that's good. But there's nothing really for me to take in there. Not in the bottom box anyway. There is in the super. I'm just going to quickly clean this off. Right, that's much better. Oh, the other side needs a little bit as well. Right, come on, get out of the way. Okay. Right, I've just opened up the second one. I've not put the video on until I've got to the bottom box. And again in here, they are very active, which is really encouraging. Building that one out with honey, so I'll have to come back for that one shortly. The very end one as well, by the looks of it. Yeah, nothing on that side, but this side they're capping off honey cells, so that's good. They're certainly not happy with me. Oh, I can't get that one out. Yeah, that's honey. Let's get rid of that piece off there. That's the very front one. And again, they keep building on here. I don't know why. Oh, come on. There, so that front one's looking good. And that's capped honey. Same on that side. Again, they keep building on the bottoms of these frames. Don't know why they're doing that. It's not like they're short of space. Just move these again. Well, they're not happy with me, but they seem to be happy in the hive. which is what I'm interested in. Same again, just cleaned that queen excluder off. Hopefully it'll stop it sticking. Right. The newest one. Right, I need to move this off there and onto the new pallet, so I think I'll take the super. Maybe not. That's fairly quiet, which is not a good sign. There are bees in there, but no activity really in this super box. I'm hoping there is when I open up the bottom. Yeah, there's not as much activity in there as I would like, if I'm honest with you. The main frames are in the middle. They are working to draw that out, so that's good. Now they're angry. They're not happy with me now. Oh, that's better. That's much better. Right, I'm going to leave these. The last thing I want to do is upset them too much that they decide to disappear. So I've got to move this off that pallet now somehow. And let me just put that queen excluder back on so I don't get a face full of bees. Got to do this quickly, or as quickly as I can. Okay. Oh, it's so hot. So hot. Whew. Okay, that's that one. Okay, last one. Get away. The bees are trying to chase me off. You wouldn't believe how hot I am. Not a lot going on in the super box on top, has to be said. There are bees in it, but not a lot. Well, that's them upset now. Oh, there's a lot more going on in this one than there is in that one. Let's see if I can get the camera over for you. Because I was a bit concerned about this. This is the one where the, let me get out the light, the tree swarm, if you remember. Now they are definitely active in there. Lots of bees. Whew. Let's take a look at a frame. This front one seems to be packed with honey. Oh, they're annoyed now. Yeah, they're building onto this fake frame. Capped those cells up. Look at the building at the bottom again, look. Well, I'm very content with this one. They're active across almost all of the frames in the bottom of this brood box. The only thing, it's a mile walk to this now. Yeah, the only thing with this really is this front frame. They've attached it to a fake board. Yeah, I can't get that out single-handed. But yeah, I'm happy with that, certainly. The bees aren't happy. They'll get over it in a minute. Whew. There we go. Thank God for that. Well, one last thing before I go. I've stripped out the cabinet here that's got the diesel heater in it. Trying to see signs of where these rodents might be coming in. And I'm struggling, really. I mean, there is a tiny gap right down there where, let me get rid of the cobwebs, where the there you go. So just down here you've got an air intake and you've got an exhaust going out through the wall, but in all honesty, too many cobwebs. I mean, the gap's tiny gap. I don't think there's much space there, unless it's a tiny mouse. but there's nowhere else. All the rest of this is completely sealed. So I don't know, but it's a bit of a loss. I have just noticed though, and I don't know how, I've got a broken panel there. Don't quite know how that's got damaged. It's a bit annoying. Yeah, that's a bit odd. Anyway, so I can't for the life of me see where they might be coming in. So I've got to put it all back together again now. And then it'll be time to go home. Roasting hot in here. Really roasting. I never got those cucumbers transplanted today either. I'll have to do that tomorrow. Well, that's it for today, and what another scorching day it's been. But looking out over the field, nice to see the grass cut, nice to see the raised beds weeded, and we've now got lots of planting. Still more to do though. I'm wondering how long we're going to have all of this sunshine for. It's nice in small doses, but I don't want a prolonged period of this for sure. I want to get a decent harvest this year. Bees are settling down now after my interruption. So out of the 4, 3 totally confident, and just this last one, the new one, that not so sure. But all we can do is wait and see. How are things with you guys? Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're staying safe and well and enjoying your weekend, especially if you've got a long one like I have in the UK. Do take the time to kick back, chillax, a couple of beers maybe, but don't neglect your prepping. Stay safe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Well, that's it for this video. I hope there was something in there that was of interest to you. If you did like the video, please do click on the like button. Also feel free to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. As always, I welcome any comments, questions or suggestions you might have. Just feel free to leave them in the comments section below. But for now, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.